See, Chanot tries to get in front of him. Watch Araujo, right to the face.
He's hooked him. This has got to be reviewed. 100%.
Oh, by the grace of Cheez-Its, we're back. Charlie, instant replay. It's here, 2022. Let's go.
Welcome back, welcome back. New year, same assessment. Let's get it.
All right, Charlie, let's get week one started with Charlotte FC, their very first game in Major League Soccer against DC United in the nation's capital. 34th minute, there's a 50-50. Did Julian Gressel commit a foul? TBD on that one. Ball in behind. They're driving toward the box. Guzman Corujo looks like he blocks it, but no, that's called a handball. PK DC United. Corujo doesn't like it, and Charlotte's announcers don't like it either. They say that was absolutely a foul on Gressel. It wasn't reviewed. Handball. Goal from the spot. What do you think? 1, foul on Gressel, and 2, is that a handball?
Wiebe, I'll start with the handball play. Yes, I do think it is a handball. His right arm is extended away from his body. But you can go back all the way to the Julian Gressel play. Now, in my opinion, this is a foul on Julian Gressel. You can clearly see when he goes down that his right leg comes up to the midsection of Mora, which causes him to go down. For me, that is a foul, which then nullifies the handball.
And that's what I would have called it in real time, but you can ask yourself, is that clear and obvious? That's a judgment call, and in this case, Caroline Chenard said, no, I'm not sending it to review. Here's another one Charlotte weren't happy about. 43rd minute, shot from Alan Franco after a bunch of pinball at the top of the box. Here comes Andy Nahar. There's the block, but the deflection, it's off his hand. You can see right there, ball to hand. Well, Charlotte sees that too, and they want a handball. They don't get it, and I agree with that assessment from both referee Victor Rivas and VAR Caroline Chenard. That's a clear deflection, and it deflects straight up. I think Andy Nahar's body motion causes his arms to be there in a natural position, and that's why I wouldn't call that a handball.
Spot on, Wiebe.
All right, Chuck, let's go to Dallas-Toronto. 10th minute. This one was a big point of emphasis for Toronto FC supporters in my mentions. Paul Areola in behind, slips the ball across the box. Haider Obrian, goal. But no, that's ruled offside on the field. Until Rosendo Mendoza, the VAR, gets in Jair Marufo's ear and says, no, you need to go to the monitor. Marufo does, comes back, says goal. Here is the angle, Charlie. Is it clear and obvious to you that this is onside?
It is not clear and obvious to me that it is onside. Wiebe, on the initial look, it looks onside to me, but we don't have a definitive angle. In this case, I would like to see the flag stay down. But once the flag does go up, there is not a definitive angle to overturn it. We've been tricked before. You and I, Wiebe, we've been in the same position, and we've been tricked. So, with that being the case, I think the flag should have stayed down initially, and the goal should have stood.
But since that's not what happened, I think we can both agree. This goal should remain offside in our opinion, because that angle, though it looks, and I agree with you, that it looks onside, is not definitive. It's still razor-thin margin. Obrian in the spotlight, 43rd minute, he's in behind. An on-rushing Bono comes out of the TFC goal, and boy, that looks like a penalty. And if I'm Jair Marufo on the field, I'm pointing to the spot. If you look closely, and you gotta look closely, Bono gets a touch after Obrian tries to get in behind. That is not a foul. Good job by the crew to leave this one as called on the field. Alex Bono got fortunate on that one, Charlie, and Dallas might have got fortunate in the 68th minute. Alejandro Pozuelo, former MVP that he is, doing things that only he can do in the box. Here comes the challenge. Down he goes. Penalty, says Marufo. Only not, because Mendoza calls him to the monitor. He goes back and looks and says, that's not standing. Pozuelo is dumbfounded. What are you?
I'm not dumbfounded, Wiebe, because I've been there, done that. Now, in this case, Pozuelo does lift the ball over the oncoming defender's foot. But there's a touch, which is key. The defender touches the ball. Martinez gets a piece of it. And if you see Pozuelo, he's playing, he's anticipating that the defender will not touch it, and he's getting his body ready for the embellishment. But the VAR, Rosendo Mendoza, is on top of it, and he signals to Jair Marufo that he should take another look. In my opinion, they got this one right.
I gotta agree with you, Charlie. For me, it's not about the way Pozuelo goes down. It's about the deflection. Martinez gets the ball. For me, at that point, no PK. Okay, time now for the highlights from the weekend. Here's Romel Kyoto with the two-fisted punch into Robin Janssen. Well, Janssen would get a red card himself later in this game, but come on, Romel, what are you thinking? That's violent conduct every time. You got wound up. And here's the thing. If Kyoto pushes hands open, he might not get a red card here, but look at his fists. He clenches his fists. That's violent conduct. And what happened to DeAndre Yedlin, Charlie?
Yedlin was diving like it was 2002 pre-video review. Man, he got caught diving. He spent a little too long in Turkey.
Look, I respect it, Charlie. He's trying to get a call there, but a little too much extension and rotation from Yedlin on this one. I can, however, understand how Santiago Moreno was a little bit perturbed by this call in the 51st minute of that Timbers-New England game on Saturday night. It sure does look like Sebastian Lletget dives in front of him and blocks that shot with his leg, Charlie. There's no contact from Lletget on the ball. How do you feel about this one? Chris Pinto on the field says no PK. Jeff Gamble up in the video review booth did not call him to the monitor.
Wiebe, I took a number of looks at this play. Sebastian Lletget was making an attempt to play the ball and planted his foot.
Okay, Charlie, I hear you on the planted foot. Why does that make a difference when Lletget does not get the ball?
The plant foot matters because Sebastian Lletget is not initiating the contact. It's Santiago Moreno who's kicking the foot of Sebastian Lletget. So in my opinion, this is not a penalty. Had Sebastian Lletget's foot been raised in making an attempt to play the ball, this would be a penalty for me. I think they got this call right.
All right, we got one play from LA Galaxy NYCFC. Chicharito winner, beautiful for my Golden Boot draft team. But Charlie, we're taking a look at a set piece in the 32nd minute. Maxi Morales whips it in and, okay, focus in the middle of the box. Yes, we all see the collision between Chicharito and Admonson in the center of the box. And while you can argue who the foul is on, you cannot argue that Joseph Dickerson has a perfect angle to make this decision. He calls it a foul on Admonson. But what you probably don't see and now do, because Maxime Chanot is writhing on the ground at the top of the box, is what happened between him and Julian Araujo. Charlie, what did happen between him and Julian Araujo? What move is this in the WWF universe?
It looks like he's fish hooking his face, his nose. Either way, Chanot is attempting to get in the way of Araujo getting to Castellanos. Now, out of rage, out of pure disrespect that a defender would go to block you, this was the reaction.
All right, you're saying. I see that contact up there. In the run-up play or in the box, that's a foul on Julian Araujo. Why isn't it a penalty kick? Well, it's not a penalty kick because the Admonson foul, as Joseph Dickerson called it, comes first. Thereby, it would be a dead ball situation, and that red card would be given to Araujo, but no penalty would be given. We have some additional information as of Monday morning. Here is the pool reporter question for the referee, Joseph Dickerson, and his answer. The answer is that the VAR checked it. Obviously, they checked every potential red card play or penalty and deemed that the footage was not conclusive enough to consider the non-showing of a red card to be a clear and obvious error. Basically, that the force used was not more than negligible. I think Dickerson and Stott got it dead on. The Admonson foul comes before the foul by Araujo, thereby no PK, but I do think this is a red card for violent conduct. I just think the force is more than negligible. Let's go to Atlanta. Ozzie Alonso in the 5 stripes. Ozzie Alonso doing Ozzie Alonso things. 11th minute. In the open field, here comes Logan Ndembe, and here comes Ozzie straight scissoring through his ankle. That is a yellow card, says Ted Uncle, the referee. And that is an orange card for me, Charlie. We've argued about this. You've made fun of me for saying it, but yes, if it was half a second different here and Ndembe's foot is planted and Ozzie catches him this way, going off the ground with excessive force in a scissor motion to the side of an opponent, it would be a red card. But because it's not half a second difference, no, you're right, it is a yellow.
It's a hard yellow. Come on, Wiebe. I've been on the receiving end of a tackle just like this from the man himself, and you have to respect the way he plays the game.
You sure do, but you also gotta wonder what he's doing on this play in the 68th minute. You're towing the line, Ozzie. He comes charging in, and maybe in a different universe, that's a second yellow, but Ozzie, being Ozzie, manages to slow himself up just enough for that just to be a foul.
When is he not towing the line?
Always, Charlie. All right, we end with the very first red card of the 2022 season. Romel Kyoto may have got the honors on Sunday, but the first one on Saturday went to Jake Nerwinski. Double yellow card variety, Charlie. He had a little case of the push him in the back.
Yes, I completely agree with this call. You're playing on a yellow card. Maybe the first one, you could argue it wasn't a yellow. but you know you're on a yellow and you put your hands on the opposing player as they enter your half. Yes, all day it's a yellow. They got this one right.
And that's it for us, Charlie. It feels good to be back. Hashtag Instant Replay on Twitter if you want to nominate any plays for review at any time. We're always checking, and we always want to hear from you.
If you see something, say something.
Hey, that's my line. We're out of here. We'll see you next time. Can't steal that.